F28, M28, how do you accept when your partner changes their appearance? BF always had longish hair but surprised me with basically a buzz cut. He really likes it and plans on keeping it till at least the fall. I haven't told him how much I don't like it, just that it might take me a few days to get used to it. It's been a couple weeks and having sex is still weird. I feel so vain, lol, he just doesn't look like him. TL. Doctor, how do you accept when your partner changes their appearance? It can take a while, but you'll adjust eventually. The first time my husband shaved his beard, I used to wake up in the middle of the night genuinely scared, like I was sleeping next to a stranger. But it didn't last long. I've always known my BF with a beard. When he clean shaved it was very weird, but I got over it. Said nothing and it grew back. He's never said anything about me getting highlights, lowlights. And I've drastically changed my hair color. At the end of the day, we just both want each other happy and comfortable with ourselves. I think this sentiment is common when you're with someone long enough. My husband has had facial hair for as long as I've known him. I wondered out loud one day what he might look like without it. At this point, we had been married for several years and had a child. We were playing with our son and he got up and left the room while I continued to play. When he returned, his face was bare. I freaked at first because I didn't even recognize him, and though a stranger had gotten into our home, it made a huge difference and I was not a fan. Kissing him felt so wrong too. Like I was cheating. I did tell him that I had a preference for the beard, but I'd support whatever he chose to do. Thankfully he did not like the clean-shaven look either, but if he had decided to keep the look, I would have just gotten used to it. Just by remembering all the other reasons I love this man and want to spend my life with him. You just get used to it. My husband went from cleanshaven to growing a beard, which, honestly, I hated tears of joy. But he's still my husband, ha ha ha. It wasn't too difficult to look past his beard and still be insanely attracted to him. Thankfully, he decided he preferred cleanshaven and went back to normal after a bit. My husband gets a haircut I hate every 4 months. He has the most beautiful brunette curls, and he savages them, but it's his head. So I just make sure to pay him lots of compliments when it's the length I like and say nothing but frown internally when it's haircut time. You just have to get over it. It's his body, his hair. Expressing that you dislike it won't do anything besides make him feel like you think he's ugly. With shorter hair, there's a weird few weeks or a month period of natural unease that can occur when someone changes their appearance in a big way. I'd struggle to say it's uncanny, but I've been in situations where a partner has cut 80% of their hair off and you sometimes feel weird. Sort of like you know who they are, but part of you doesn't recognize them. That said, you get used to it. It's still your partner, you're still in love. It just takes time. Just don't voice this opinion and let him be happy. My man just got a very short haircut after I got used to him having very fluffy, mid-length hair, haha. He looks so pretty, but it feels like I'm cheating on him with him. I'm sure it just takes a little time to get used to it. Can't imagine losing any attraction to my partner because of a haircut. He could go bald for all I care and I'd still marry him on the spot if he'd ask me to. Yeah, it's tougher than it sounds. My wife got a terrible, just objectively terrible, all messed up lengths haircut one time. I didn't tell her it looked awful. My advice is to try to get used to it, and casually suggest you like their hair when it looks nice again. Everyone is different and some can cope with changes better than others. My father, for example, since my earliest memories always had a big, full beard. In my late teens he just lopped it off one day, looked like a totally different man. What we don't realize, however, is that people make a conscious decision to do these things based on what they want to do and in all likelihood, what makes them happy. My father was absolutely torn up when people were telling him he looked differently in a bad way, i.e. angry, unhappy, older, etc. Absolutely killed his confidence, and despite not wanting a beard anymore, ended up regrowing it. It hurt him even more when folks were saying how much better he looked. At the end of the day, my personal view is that changes to things like hairstyle, facial hair and other grooming type things is fine, provided it's a look you can come to get used to over time. If we were talking more of a lifestyle change and involved cosmetic surgery, or he was wanting to look like a member of Kiss constantly, okay, I'd be accepting of how big a change that is, unless he can kill playing guitar and vocals, in which case he's a legend. But in all seriousness, give it time. Support him in his choice, because ultimately, chances are he'll love you to bits and not mind you making changes at all. Men are arguably a lot more limited in their choices and methods of changing their look. If he's happy with it, then just love him the same regardless. Should you find, however, that basically the beard is what made you attracted to him and it's a literal game changer because you now aren't, well, if after a while you've given it a chance, we're talking a minimum of several weeks, not just a few days, and things aren't better, you need to be honest and have a talk with him about it. Maybe he's just trying something new and doesn't mind growing it back. Maybe he wants to keep it that way. What you do from there is totally down to you and what feels right. But I'd like to think a beard isn't the only thing keeping you together. It can be extremely shocking to see your partner change their appearance so drastically, especially if that is the only look you've seen them have. It sucks, but there isn't much you can do. Their body, their choice. My partner has had a wide range of hairstyles and facial hair. It is always a shock to me when they shave or get a haircut, but I just smile and move on because I love them. Just recently, I shaved my head basically bald. I didn't want to go that short, but I was in a hurry. Picked the wrong guard size for the clippers and just started shaving. Plus, I didn't shave in front of a mirror, so I really didn't realize how far down I went. I showed my partner while they were on break at work, and they told me that it didn't matter and that they still loved me. I, however, hate it and have been wearing a beanie all the time. Thank goodness for cold Midwestern winters. But even if you don't like it now, it may grow on you. It helps to see your partner in a new, different light, which isn't always a bad thing. I just get over it. You just accept it. I'm so confused by this. As long as my partner is happy, I'll be his biggest fan. Lick it. Everyone telling you to get over it. But you can broach it. Just compliment before the hit. I love you and your face no matter your hair length. And I support whatever changes you want to make. I'm not going to lie though. I also really loved your longer hair. Leave it at that. He'll either grow it out again or you'll adjust also. A buzzcut rarely looks good on anyone unless they have a jawline of a god. Once it grows in, you may like him with shorter hair. Is it possible you don't really like him all that much? Anytime I felt like this about a boyfriend's haircut, it was because I was distracting myself from the bigger issues. And if my attraction changes that much with just a haircut, I certainly wasn't ever attracted to them enough. If you love your partner, a haircut isn't a deal breaker. Is this a man you're hoping to marry or be in a lifelong relationship with? If yes, who the hell cares? It's a haircut and you're being goofy. If this is just some guy, then walk away if this is enough of an issue to complain online about it. You get used to it or get over it. You just recognize it's not your decision how he styles himself. Respect his choice, and move on.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.